Hello, 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 my beloved souls. I missed you guys. How are you? Happy Divine Masculine Monday. Um, I know it's been a while. It's been like a month. There's been so much going on, good, bad, indifferent. All depends on how you perceive it, right? But we had a huge 2-2 portal that opened up and was really transformative. It brought in a lot of opportunities, a lot of manifestations were like becoming our reality, right? 3D reality, which was really exciting. And then we have this full moon in Leo, right? Power, strength, courage, moving things forward, standing in the spotlight, right? Like, look at me, I'm on the red carpet, right? Like things that were hidden, obviously, always with the full moon come to light. But with all the energies that were like kind of came up and were transmuted with that full moon that we had in Cancer, I want to say. And that brought up a lot of healing. And then we had the Mars retrograde, right? Which was really focusing on like the divine masculine energy and healing the distorted versions. And because of that super powerful Mars retrograde and because of all the healing that took place and was transpired, we're at a point right now with this full moon in Leo where we're really still kind of healing those wounds. But also not just the divine masculine energy, but how it's being played out and how it's been manipulated through distorted, karmic, and toxic feminine energy, right? Whether that's the unhealed version of like your, females in your life, right? Your mother, your sister, your friends, like however it works out, there is still a lot of that distortion, right? And so if you're a divine masculine that happens to be gender as a female, right? You're born with your eggs, right? A woman is already born with her eggs in her. So you were born with your eggs in you, and when your mom gave birth, when your mom was um pregnant with you, her energy is in yours as well, right? From your grandmother. I think it goes back at least 3 generations. So all of those distortions, all those traumas, all of that heaviness, all that toxicity, all of that karma, right, came with you when you came out. And so a lot of us have had to heal and relinquish and transmute and alchemize that energy, right? And it's been super potent, super strong, super enlightening, but really heavy and really dense, right? There's a lot to deal with. So there's been a lot of projections going on, a lot of fear, and even I'm not just talking about just like within the divine masculine collective. I'm talking about the collective as a whole, right? Within, the collective, whether you consider yourself spiritual or not. We even have the negativity being projected in the spiritual community, right? Those who are walking the spiritual path, but are still in this energy of judgment and criticism and condemnation. And, oh, well, I'm better than you because, and oh, I'm better than you because, right? It's that whole attitude like, well, I'm spiritual, so obviously, like, I'm doing things the right way, and I'm justified for my behavior, right? Which is still a version of toxicity and unhealed karma and triggers, right? If you're triggered by something, how you respond to it shows where you're at on your healing journey, right? And so things that trigger us show us what needs to be healed, right? And so we're seeing a lot of that play out in the collective. And with this Leo energy, like I said, Leo's about like the spotlight, the red carpet, those things are being highlighted, right? So you're gonna have a big, big chance to look yourself in the face at this time and be like, wow, you know, was is my response something that is healthy? Am I actually standing in my light, or am I pretending, right? Like, we all put on a good game. It's 11-11. We can all put on a good front, but how you're responding to your life, how you're showing up in life, the things that are being reflected outwards in your life and being reflected back to you are examples of where you may or may not have dealt with that triggers, where you may or may not have really taken ownership of your healing, right? And so we started off 2022 with healing the divine feminine energy, right? And then we ended 2022 with healing the divine masculine energy. And so all of that stuff is really playing out. And this year, 2023, the 7 year, is a beautiful energy of the God within, right? Of us really activating our own God, goddess energy, and really utilizing that for our highest and greatest good. And manifestations are happening like this. You know, if you're in alignment with your truth and your healing, you're going to start to see things really come forward, right? I'm seeing a lot of people, their wishes are being fulfilled, right? Their dreams are coming true. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. So, anyway, here I am. I love you, divine masculines. I missed you so much. So I'm just gonna do a quick reading. I'm not gonna sit here and lecture you guys forever because I know I haven't been here in a while. But let's pull a power animal. We're gonna pull from the Earth Magic, of course, because we had that amazing full moon, and then we're gonna pull from the Gateway Oracle as well because of that portal that we just went through. So thank you, angels. Thank you, guys, for being here with me and the Divine Masculine Collective. What do they need to know? What do they need to see at this time? All right. Bottom of the deck, Antelope. Decisiveness. Make a decision and take appropriate action, right? So you're going to make a decision and take appropriate action. It doesn't mean, and this is a fine line, right? Because sometimes we just like to do, right? Leo's a masculine energy, right? It's very strong, very potent. You want to get things done, right? It's a fire sign. We kind of like just want to burn through things, right? But taking appropriate action is taking a moment, right? It's pausing and taking a second to be like, is this the best decision? Is this going to serve my highest and greatest good? Am I making this decision based off of fear, or am I making it out of faith, right? And those are two very different energies, right? Because fear is that energy of the egoic mind being like, you got to get it done right now, or you know, it's the choice of taking a job because you have to have something right now, or fear, right? Or faith, take waiting and being like, you know what, I don't think this is the right thing for me, even when you don't have a job, even when you're kind of like nervous and kind of like all wound up, right? So faith is trusting in your higher self, trusting in your intuition, trusting in the guidance that you're receiving, right? Knowing that if you say no to something at this time because it's not in alignment with your soul, it's because you know something better is going to come along, and not questioning and not doubting and not worrying, right? So that is the stillness, right? The appropriate action is, all right, I prayed, I put the energy out in the universe. Now I'm going to wait until I get a really, really clear message from my team of light, right? I'm following my intuition. I'm going to, when I have a really clear hunch, and then I'm going to follow through with it, right? I'm not going to let my egoic mind talk me out of it and be like, no, that's not good enough for you. You don't deserve that. You're not smart enough. You're not talented enough. That doesn't make too much sense. This is too good to be true. None of that stuff, right? So this is the energy of really allowing faith to be your guiding light. And where does faith reside? It resides in our heart chakras, right? We want to be led for our highest and greatest good through our heart. That's where our soul resides, okay? Take appropriate action, all right? Faith over fear. Taking a step when you know that there's darkness in front of you, right? You don't even see the stairs, but knowing that you're going to be good regardless, right? That is the energy that we're moving in towards right now. And then you have Fox, adaptability. Gotta love this. Adapt to the changes that are happening, right? Life is cyclical, and we really want to go with the flow, and you really want to be open to the new things that are before you, right? Maybe you're being led down a different path because the path you were on isn't for your highest and greatest good. Maybe you thought it was going to be for your highest and greatest good, but things are changing, and as they change, it's like, all right, well, let me just go with it, let me just run with it, let me just see where this leads, right? So often we allow fear, right? The egoic mind, the devil, Satan, demons, however you choose to word it, to get in our head and to talk us out of our blessings, to talk us out of our miracles, to have us start doubting the path that we're on. And this is the energy of like, no, right? Know that things are always working out for you. Know that you're always being led to your highest and greatest good. Know that you're being led to your happily ever after. And so we're not going to allow our egoic mind to talk us out of these things. And we know that change is inevitable, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, right? The weather changes, the days change, time changes, our bodies change. It is what it is, right? But it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It is if you perceive it that way, right? But it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Know that these changes are happening to your highest and greatest good, right? Know that life is always working out for you, and be flexible with it, right? We want to go with the flow. We really want to allow ourselves to just swim downstream, right? We don't want to do all the extra work of swimming upstream and going uphill and just trying to force things to happen, right? We're not in the energy of forcing. We're in the energy of allowance. So this is this energy, right? A lot of allowance, of opening, of receiving, of trusting the guidance that you're getting, and then flowing with that. Okay. And then we have porcupine, innocence. Free yourself of guilt and shame. Guilt and shame are in the egoic mind. They're going to tell you you're not good enough, you're not qualified, you're not smart enough. You need to do it this way because that's the way it's always been done, or that's the way that I did it, or it just, there's so much of that. But most people that give us advice, right, are doing so from an energy of fear. And it's not like necessarily a conscious thing, right? I'm not going to say that people out here just maliciously telling you to do the wrong thing. Um, but that's the energy that they're working with, right? And so you have to be really discerning in who you're getting advice from and what resides in your soul, right? And your path may not necessarily look like their path, or how you are, the guidance that you're receiving may not exactly be the guidance that they would give to you. And it doesn't mean that they're wrong in giving you that advice, and it doesn't mean that you're wrong in not following it. It just means that you need to to be in alignment with the dictate of your soul, right? Fear and shame and guilt and judgment and condemnation and criticism and worry and doubt, right? All low vibrational energies are not going to serve your highest and greatest good. The Most High is not going to give you advice that's going to have you feeling guilt or shame, right? You need to have the innocence right now with this beautiful porcupine energy of like a child. You know, you tell a child to do something and they just trust you at your word, right? Verbatim, because they're just, you love them, you know, unconditionally, or so they think, right? And so it's that energy, right? Trusting in the Most High, knowing that you're loved unconditionally, unfailingly, and trusting that energy and knowing that you're being guided to your highest and greatest good. You know, like God is not going to guide you to do some fucked up shit. It's she won't. She really won't. It's just not in alignment. And if you're doing something like, oh well, God said, you know, no, no. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to everyone else. That is not it, right? God does not want any of their children to be harmed. Good, bad, or indifferent. Doesn't matter how you perceive that person. It doesn't matter how you perceive that situation. The Most High is not going to do that, right? So let's just be very clear about that. So just get the shame and the guilt out of your system, out of your awareness, release it, right, into the universe, and trust in the guidance that is leading you with love, leading you with perfect love and perfect trust. Okay. And really trust that, right? Like get that childlike innocence going and have fun with it on this path, right? Joy and rapture and ecstasy and enlightenment and bliss are all heaven sent, right? God is not literally not going to put you on the path that's just going to make you freaking miserable, unless it's something you signed up for in your soul contract. But still, there will be no guilt and shame in it, right? Sometimes the lessons that we have to grow through, right? Not go through, grow through, are to serve our highest and greatest good, right? We like to pray for things or ask for things and put it out into the universe, but maybe we're not necessarily ready yet. Right. And so we have to grow through some things to see how we'll handle some of the small things before we get the big things. And it's not a bad thing. And it's not to punish you. Okay. But there should be no guilt and no shame in these things and what you're doing. Be very discerning in that. Okay. I haven't channeled for the collective in a minute. So it's just like all this energy coming through. Let me get some tea. Channeling for myself is one thing. Channeling for all of you guys is something totally different. All right, Gaia, what do you. I feel like that needed to come out. What do you need to. What do you want to say? What do you want the divine masculines to know? What do I need to know? What do I need to see? Strength, the mountain energy. You are strong, divine masculines, and all of this. And I know that you've been going through it, right? I know the upheavals, the trauma, the stress, the worry, but it, like I said, the things that we're growing through are to strengthen you, are to encourage you, are to prepare you for your happily ever after. You are so strong, and the things that we've been growing through, as this world is teaching us, as we ended out 2022, right, with that Mars in retrograde, Mercury was in retrograde. There was a lot going on, right? These things are here to strengthen you. If you would just take a minute to reflect, wow, that's funny. Look, we got the winter solstice for reflection. But if you would just take a minute, a moment to just pause and to reflect back on, let's just say 2022, right? And some of the lessons that you learned, you will see that you're a lot stronger today than you've ever been, right? And It may suck, right? You may not have wanted this consciously, right? But at a soul level, we needed some of these things to really activate us. At a soul level, we needed to grow through these things in order to take ourselves to another level, right? So just realize that you're really strong, that you're really resistant, that you stand tall, right? You're seeing things from a higher perspective, and that's a blessing, right? It's really just a matter of how we perceive it, but this is a true blessing that is coming for you, as this energy of reflection, right? Winter solstice. We're in the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere, right? And that's a time to what? Pause and reflect and just quiet down and to just chill out, right? So take a minute today if you can. Just take a minute, just pause and allow yourself to just think back, right? I really encourage you to journal. You guys know that I'm big on journaling, right? I really encourage you to like get your journal out, right? And just start writing down like what did I learn in 2022? Right? What were some of the lessons? Right? How can I have shown up better? How can I have stood in my truth more? How could I have spoken up more? Like whatever it needs to be that you need to stop and think about. And do that now, right? Take some time for yourself. You deserve this moment. If you can't take 15 minutes for yourself, then there's something wrong with your schedule. Okay? You are the most important person in your life. Tree, grounding. Gaia's probably going to always tell us this, right? But it's important for us to stay grounded, centered, secure in our own energies so that when we do have all of this shit going on around us, it doesn't throw us, right? The winds of life, the storms of life are going to happen, but it doesn't necessarily mean it needs to throw you off center, right? When life is coming at you and people are coming at you crazy and you have all these weird situations going on around you, right? How are you showing up? How is it moving you? Is it moving you? Or are you still grounded and centered, right? Knowing that wherever you land, that's exactly where you need to be. Okay? Wherever you land, that's exactly where you need to be. These are the ones that just came out that I was like, oh, I think these are all a message. Wolf instinct. This is trusting your intuition, right? We all have within us that innate animal instincts, right? We're all born with it. We just kind of tend to tune it down and to dial it out as we grow into our human selves, right? But this is you trusting in who you are as a divine masculine, right? Trusting that inner voice, trusting that the inner guidance that's coming through for you one more time, right? And really like standing in your truth, standing in your power, right? A wolf, alpha wolf, right? Standing good by their own, but they're also a part of a pack. So whether you're doing this all by your damn self or you're connecting with your soul tribe at the end of the day, it's trusting your intuition. Look, we have the mountain behind again, reminding you once again that even if you feel alone, as the alpha wolf sometimes is, you're strengthened, you're good, you're protected, and know that you're never alone, right? You're surrounded by angels and ancestors and spirit guides and the whole shebang bang. Okay, ancestors coming through. Generations. And I love that this is showing all the generations that, and the snake energy with the healing, right? Because snakes indicate healing. And then we have all the generations coming with the ancestors. Once again, we're clearing a lot of that dense karmic energy that is within the divine masculine collective, right? And really being played out through karmic and toxic feminine energies, right? So many masculines have unhealed trauma or drama with their, we'll say, mothers, right? Like female mothers, right? And it's being played out in very distorted ways. And so you'll see it, especially, and I see this a lot with mostly heterosexual men, that are in their masculine energy of having unhealthy relationships with women, right? With their sisters, with their wives, with their girlfriends. A lot of this toxic energy that has come down, this karmic energy that has come down through females, gender females, right? Is imagine you're in a household, right? A single mom household, and the mom is bitter and resentful of the fact that the dad is not around, that he's not helping, whatever. A lot of those females, and I've seen this in so many generations, it pains me. A lot of those females are then projecting that energy onto their sons, right? So they either do the most, overcompensate, right? Kind of like spoil and baby and cater to and all the shit with their sons, or they project it and they're mean and resentful and nasty and like condescending to their sons, or they're trying to force them to fit a role that they're not, right? Trying to force them to be the man of the house, right? You got this boy growing up being told he is the man of the house and having all this responsibility put onto him because mom had an unhealthy relationship. Mom didn't choose the right partner. Right? At the end of the day, that has nothing to do with the child. Right? You didn't vet your partner right. You maybe wanted to get pregnant, or however you set that situation up, or maybe you just got pregnant accidentally. However it plays out, doesn't matter. But it's not the child's fault. And so we have all of this negative energy and this resentment and this bitterness and this guilt and this fear and this shame and this condemnation, right? Now being poured into them, right? And so it's not only the males that are receiving it, right? There's a female in the household too. She's getting this lesson, right? Is this how you treat a man, or this is what you should expect in relationships, or, you know, the bitterness, again, a lot of people are giving us guidance from an energy of fear. A lot of people are giving us guidance from an energy of where they're projecting, right? Where they haven't healed their own traumas, right? Their resentment, their bitterness. So it's really, really being discerning. And so your ancestors are coming through right now, divine masculines, to help you heal this energy, right? But partially, and I feel this strongly, very apologetically, um, for just some of the trauma and drama and the karma that you're still having to clear up right now. Obviously, like I said, this is not like people are out there consciously, maliciously trying to do these things, but to have the awareness, right? Just have the awareness that, like, you're clearing karma like 7 generations back, right? You're having to heal this. You can look at the African American community, especially in the southern states in the US, where there's still a lot of that slave mentality that is encapsulating the community, and it's something that needs to be cleared. It needs to be acknowledged and awareness to heal. But guess what? How do we do that? We got to bring it forward. We got to put it in the spotlight. We got to stop acting like it doesn't exist and be like, hey, this is a distortion. This isn't reality. This is fucked up. This is an old trauma. This is an old wound. This is something that needs to be healed, right? Burying our heads in the sand is not going to deal with it. Sweeping it under the couch isn't going to deal with it. We got to cut the freaking snake off by the head. You know what I mean? So you have your beautiful ancestors coming forward right now, definitely apologetically, but filled with so much love to remind you, hey, we got you. And we know that, you know, we left you with some fucked up shit, but we're here to support you now into healing and clearing that. Okay, so this full moon, super, super potent and helping you to just activate that. Wow. Stone people, vigilance. This is the third card indicating that energy of strength and power and like fortitude behind you, divine masculines, right? You are so much stronger than you believe, right? And this isn't like you need to be like a rock and unfeeling. No, because we healed the divine, well, we started healing that divine feminine energy within you, letting you know, no, it's okay. It's okay for you to have the energy of water, to feel, to understand who you are, to nurture yourself, to pour into yourself, to self-care, but also know that you're very strong. Having those feelings, being balanced in your energies with your feminine and masculine energies, does not make you weaker. In actuality, it makes you stronger, because now, if you'll see, there's some water down there, right? Now, not only do you have the strength of the mountain behind you, but you also have the ease and the grace and the flow and the nurturing energy of the water within you, right? There's true balance coming into your world right now. Oh my God, look at all this water energy with the tsunami card. All this water energy with the tsunami card. Full moon, right? Wake up call. You guys know, wherever I'm at in the world, right? Whenever something big energetically is going on, the weather will indicate it to me. When I tell you the motherfucking rains and winds that were howling around me this weekend, and I was like, oh shit, it's about to go down. And now we're pulling the tsunami card, right? Super, super healing, purifications, um, activations going on within the collective right now. This is, like I said, the Leo is about spotlight, red carpet. You're going to, if you know a Leo, you know a Leo, right? They are, you see them, they like to look good, they like to dress good, they like to, stand out in the light. They're always talking their shit, right? I love my Leos. Wake up call. You're going to see, feel, and hear everything that you need to know that needs to be brought to the light, good, bad, or indifferent, right? So wherever you haven't dealt with your traumas and your dramas and your karma and your triggers, that shit is going to be brought up into your face. Wake up call. And a lot of these lessons, for those of you who are pretending to do your healing work but actually aren't doing it, a lot of these lessons are going to feel nasty, right? They're gonna look a little bit ugly. And I hate to say that, but it is what it is, right? Because you have to do the inner work. You can't speak about doing the inner work. You have to actually do the inner work. You have to actually sit with your own energies and acknowledge where you're the fucking problem, right? And then own it and then move on. Okay. Whew. All right, angels and guys, what else do we have? Let's get some closing messages for the Divine Masculine Collective. Bottom of the deck, look at this. Being in flow. What did I just say? I like literally said this. We have to stay in flow, right? I am in the flow of the universe, right? We're allowing ourselves to, if it's taking us downstream, downstream. If we need to go left, we go left. If we go right, we go right. It was all good. She's got her hair out. She's just leaning there, just allowing the wind to blow through it. And she's just letting, she knows that no matter where she goes, she's going to be good, right? Because she's trusting in the universe to guide her. That is this energy. Just trust in the universe to guide you at this time. Stop trying to force things, okay? Communicating freely. I communicate from the depths of my being. Speak your truth. Now is the time, right? That's that throat chakra activation and healing and clearing going on, right? This is about you speaking your truth, standing in your power, speaking up for yourself, right? And sometimes it's a matter of knowing when to speak, and sometimes it's a matter of knowing when not to speak. And communication isn't always just about speaking as well, but it's also about listening, right? We have two ears and one mouth. So how are you showing up in terms of communication? Are you being heard? Are you hearing other people? Are you actually listening to what is being said? Or are you so much in your head, so busy with the response that you're missing part of the message? Right? And are you speaking from your soul or are you speaking from your egoic mind? These are some things that you may want to even journal about. Okay. Launching your journey. I am an intrepid traveler sailing forth into the universe. I love this. So we got this being and flow energy. See the moon up there, and then launching into your journey. Another moon energy, right? So I feel like now as we're moving, more towards that like new moon, first quarter moon, things like that, you're gonna start to you're going to start to see things opening up, right? Pathways are going to be opening up, doorways are going to be opening up. And it's a matter of, are you going to follow, right? Your innate guidance, your soul's guidance to really step into these energies, or are you going to get into your egoic mind and kind of like overthink it, right? Because you have this opportunity right now that's really going to take you far. And this always shows up to me as like masculine and feminine energy. So this is you coming into balance, my beautiful divine masculines, with your own inner energies, and then trusting that innate guidance is coming through you, right? And it's really gonna change your life, right? For some of you, you may actually be physically moving, right, or maybe even traveling, um, to some sacred sites that are just gonna kind of heal and strengthen you, right? We've had all that mountain energy going on as well. So maybe some of you are going hiking or going camping, however that plays out, right? Um, Connecting with Gaia, getting outside is going to be super important. We had a lot of water energy coming up as well, right? Beaches, lakes, streams, rivers, all of that will bring nourishing energy to you. If you can't do that, depending where you're at in the world, weather permitting, right? Maybe get into a salt bath. Can't, you don't have a bathtub, right? Take a shower, take a lemon, cleanse your body, right? We want to get grounded again. We want to cleanse our energy, so we're only dealing with our own energies, and then getting the clarity we need. Okay. Exceeding expectations. I love this. I soar into excellence, right? This is you not even realizing the blessings, the miracles, the grace that is coming into your world right now, right? Like when I'm telling you, I've seen so many people recently with their dreams coming true and their wishes being fulfilled, and it's like fucking Christmas meets your birthday on 1,000. It's that kind of energy, right? It's like asking God for like a dollar and you get 1,000, right? And you didn't even realize it. And not only did you get 1,000, but then it's like, oh, I asked for a dollar, I got 1,000, and then I got a free meal, and then I got a free ticket, like two free tickets to Paris, and then somebody took me on a shopping spree, right? It's like that kind of thing. It's like you're expecting one little thing, but no, 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 no. That's why I would say, whatever you put out to the universe, put that out, like, whatever it is that you're wanting. a free meal, a trip, whatever it is, and go, I'll take that or something better. Always give yourself to something better, right? Sign up for the motherfucking VIP package and see what happens. Shoot your shot. Why not, right? But that's what's coming in for you as you move through these energies that you're healing, right? Your life is going to transform for you. I see that so strongly for you, my beautiful divine masculines. You are so much stronger than you think you are. And this time, these tumultuous times that we've been going through, right? Maybe like a series of unfortunate events occurs in your life and it seems like a shit show. It seems like all this upheaval, but then it leads you to this glorious, wonderful ending, this happily ever after, this moment, this bliss, this paradise. And you're like, wow, thank you for that. Right? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Like, thank you for the upheaval. Thank you for the betrayal. Thank you for not keeping your word. Thank you for lying. Thank you that I lost that job. Thank you that I moved. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because wow, look at where I'm at. It's like once you get there, it's like, oh, I wouldn't have changed anything. Right? Like I'm so grateful that happened because look at where I'm at. It's that energy coming in for you, right? I really want you to just gain that perspective. Simplifying your life. Ooh, I cherish the simple pleasures of life. Enjoying your day to day, right? Find joy in your everyday. My kids keep a gratitude journal, right? Every night I have them write down 3 things that they're grateful for. Just think of 3 things throughout the day that you're grateful for. And I don't want to see the same 3 things every day, right? I don't want to see like mommy, my sister, my brother, and food every day. No, like go throughout your day and think of 3 things you could be grateful for. Like maybe I made a new friend or um I don't know, like I asked for something and I thought that somebody forgot and I got like the thing that I wanted for my birthday or like, oh my God, maybe it was just like a gorgeous day. Like I'm so happy that it stopped raining, so I got to go to the park. Like whatever it is, we'll find 3 things that you can be grateful for. And also, whenever they ask me for something, I'm always like, all right, well, what are we donating, right? Because we're not just gonna have like clutter and be hoarding and stuff, right? You want all these new things, fantastic. So what can we donate? What can we sell? What can we give to somebody else in need so that it becomes their blessing, right? When you get your new blessing, how can we bless another person, right? So maybe some of you need to start going through your stuff. Also, you want to declutter your home, declutter your space, right? Because when you cleanse that energy, it cleanses your mind, it cleanses your own energetic field, right? So some of you need to start going through your closets, right? Do your spring cleaning now. You haven't worn it in a year, used it in a year, time to donate it, right? Time to sell it, time to, I don't know, flea market or uh offer up, well, however you put it out there, right? But start going through your things and seeing what is no longer serving your highest and greatest good and how it could be a blessing to someone else. Okay? Simple stuff. Simple. That will really clear your energy. Like it will really clear your energy. It seems like might seem like a tedious task, but once you go through it and it's like a relief and it's like, oh, I got rid of that stuff. And guess what? When you get rid of those things, you create room for more blessings to come in. Okay? It's like asking God for a new living room set, and then you already have one. Fantastic. You know the living room set is coming, but guess what you got to do with the old furniture? You got to get rid of it first in order to make room for the new one, right? That's it. Dwelling in truth. Final message. I stand in the light of truth. You see how our eyes are closed, right? Very meditative, very prayer sense. That's that energy of you just getting still, getting in the moment, right? Listening to the energy of your soul, listening to your heart speak through you, right? And really connecting with that energy. It takes us right back to the first card, right? With the antelope energy, right? Make a decision and take appropriate action. You go into the stillness, into your prayer and meditation, connecting with the Most High, speaking your truth, speaking from your heart. And then in that minute, in that moment, then we get the intuitive downloads as to what to do to move forward. And then we take action. Okay? So step into your light, step into your truth, connect with your higher self. Connect with your higher self, divine masculine. This is telling the ego to have a seat on the motherfucking shoulder. You can sit here and watch, but you're not allowed to speak. Zip it up, and then letting your soul take over and seeing where it leads you, right? And sometimes the messages don't seem to make sense, right? It's like, oh, you need to go to Starbucks today. And you're like, why the fuck would I go to Starbucks? I don't even drink coffee, right? And I know I use this example all the time, but it's like that. It's like, trust it. Just go to Starbucks, right? Maybe you just need to walk that way. You never know who might have needed your energy or might have needed your light or what you're going to see along the way, or you don't know, right? Until you put it out there. So just put it out there, right? Super powerful time for you, my beautiful divine masculines, right? You are so so strong, so powerful, right? So just don't forget all that we learned in 2022, which is to really balance our masculine and feminine energies and to listen to your intuition, your feminine side, your emotions, that instinct to nurture yourself, to have the self care, and to know that it's adding to you, not taking away from you. You are not less than as a divine masculine because you're tapping into your emotions. No, if anything else, you're even more powerful than you were before because now you're not just forcing things through fear energy. Now you're living through your heart, and your heart is always being guided by your soul. Things are always working out for you. Things are always working out for you. Things are always working out for you. All right. I'm going to leave it there. I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. And I will see you guys soon. Later.